Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to build this lifeboat. We're going to figure out how to use this jig. We're going to get it built, we're going to get it planked, shaped, things like that. So if you want to see that, make sure you stay tuned. Hello BSC family and welcome back to my bench. So today, like I said here, we're going to start building this lifeboat that goes on the Flying Dutchman. It's a kit from OcCre. If you're interested in any type of these wood ships, make sure you check out their link below. And a big thanks to them for sending me this kit along with a bunch of other stuff that you can definitely go back in the playlist and see. But yes, thank you very much to them for sending this out to me to build for you guys. So yeah, we're going to build this life raft, and if you go over to the PDF here, you can see this is exactly what we're looking at doing. Now, not quite sure and understanding this here. They're showing that step one is all the ribs. Now, I don't know if that's fitting the ribs, making sure that they all fit level and flush and everything else. But at the same time, next step, they're showing staining it, then putting it on the template holder, right? So it's not making sense on why this little platform, I don't know why it's even needed, really. If you've already got everything glued on, what's the point of this? Now, maybe it's to keep things straight, but at the same time, I mean, if you've already got it glued, right, it's not making sense why they want you to. I mean, they show you shaping it after it's put on there. I mean, maybe that helps out a bit. So we're going to figure that out. Same thing with planking. I've already read through these instructions, looked through the pictures and stuff. So they're showing you to cut it off after. So really, I don't understand the point of this base thing. So, but yeah, we got a bit of work to do here, so we're going to get to it. I might deal something different than the way they have the bottom here. I'm not sure. Don't really like the look of that, but you know, if that's the way it was, that's the way it was. But I've changed this thing so much already that you know what's a little bit more. And so yeah, we're going to plank the outside. We're going to probably varnish the inside and stuff before we do these pieces here. We'll try and varnish like all the light wood and everything. Put the top and all that on, then we got to stain the bottom, and then yeah, we're going to go from there. So again, if you haven't seen anything of the build of this ship, you can go check up here in this corner in the video. It should pop up a link there for the playlist. So let's go back down to the bench, and here we go. So yeah, I've cut out a few because I was kind of trying to figure this out. So what we're going to do is figure out which one. This is T7, so this is, what number is this? This is T13. And 13, I'm just going to look at the PDF myself here. 13 is the very last one, so we'll cut them all out. This should be T2. So we'll cut them all out. We'll lay them up on a line here and look at getting them all cut out, or glued in. So I'm just going to use a standard yellow wood glue. And I've got this little razor saw. This stuff is a little thicker, so I find the any of the OFA blades or the hobby blades, it has a bit of a hard time cutting through, so be careful when you're doing this. But it looks like most of the spots that they left are on a nice flat area, So, yeah, we're going to cut this out. So we got T2, so we got T3 here. Now you're going to try and be careful so that you don't mar up stuff that you're going to see. So I try to do a little bit from both sides, so you're not trying to dig down too far and end up hitting the sides of the ribs, which I do believe you're going to end up seeing. And you can cut down as much as you can that way, and then maybe finish it off with the knife. Come on, get her there. So we're just going to put them all in line here. Right? So we're going to go through and cut all of them out. So we've got T3, so T4 should be this one. If it's wider, then it shouldn't be a big deal, but like that first one and this one here is T12. It's got such a little spot, you know, so you just be careful, take your time. Okay. So I'm going to go along. I'm going to cut the rest of these out. I'll come back and actually I'll clean them all up too. You know, clean up all these little nibs here. So we're going to clean them all up and then we'll come back. We'll get this thing glued together. Okay, everybody. So I went along. I didn't sand down here yet. We can do that after. But I cleaned up just the charring. I didn't want to change the shape at all or the size, but I wanted to clean up the charring so the glue sticks better. And I did the same thing with like all of these things here. I cleaned up inside, and then of course I cleaned up all the inside here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start assembling this. Now, I need this. Okay, so they show it this way. So we're just going to build it like that, and we're going to start from here. And like I said, I'm not quite sure what this is for, but I did notice as I'm cleaning it, they have these slight little cuts on the inside here, the inside and outside. There's one here, one here, and then this one has one at the back here, like so. Now I'm going to assume that's probably where we need to cut it, like they show in the instructions, right? So your planking is probably going to go from the top of your plank. It'll be at that line there. Probably this one. It's cut at an angle from the looks of it. So I'm going to assume that that's what that's for, because the bottom or the top of this here, like where your planking or your deck or whatever would be, is actually just slightly below that line, that cut line. All right, so again, like I said, I'm not quite sure what that's for, but myself, I am going to glue these in. Now these things are fairly fast, or this glue is fairly fast drying, so no real need for CA glue. Actually, looking at these now too, there's actually cut lines, like indents, again cut in by the laser, I'm assuming, along the sides, so it will actually be cut straight across pretty much right there, leaving just a little bit below. So now what we could do is make sure if we put this in here that we're, you know, square, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know. But like I said, on the PDF, they, you know, they show you either fitting it or building it before putting it on this. And like they even have it stained before putting it on here. So really, I don't know. So I'm going to assemble it, and then we'll go from there. So enjoy the little time lapse here. Okay, so I've got all that in, and now while the glue is still curing, right, I find that, I don't know if I can show you this. If you look here, it's like springy. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple clamps on that, let it completely cure. All right, and yeah, once it's completely cured, like I said, I don't know if I want to glue it down to that, because trying to sand some of this, now again, according to this, it's hard to see the markings, but right along here, almost a 1/4 inch all the way along, it looks like it's going to be cut there, and that's going to be your planking line. So I suppose gluing it down will, you know, make it, yeah, make it straight and even, I guess, because you could probably push some of these down into place. Yeah, no, not that one, because that one, see, to me they should all be pulled up. So if they're not completely touching, yeah, some are going to be higher than others if you do it that way. I would rather push them all down instead of, yeah, instead of having them, you know, like this. So I don't know, it's up to you what you want to do, but that's what I'm going to do. This here, I'm just going to keep it in this for now, so that I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to clamp this and let it cure. I may glue it down so that, like I said, with this being springy, you know, if I glue it down, then at least I know that my keel is straight, and when I put my planking on, I know that's going to be straight, and it should hold its shape at that point. So make sure that these are all sitting completely 90 degrees, and make sure they're whatever you want to call it, kiltered the right way. So I'm going to clamp this, and then I'll come back. Okay, everybody, so I've got this all glued up. Now I did go along and glue these down. Okay, what I was finding is, now that it's all dry, if I were to start filing and sanding on here, these things would wiggle. Okay, and that's probably why they're showing you to glue this down, right? And yeah, so once you start to file and shape, you don't want to be breaking these off, right? Now, as far as where to cut or where to place the boards, I don't know if I can get this to show up. Okay, see all those black lines right there? Those are actually cuts in the wood, okay? You can kind of see it there. They're cut into the wood, right, all the way along. Now, that's what I was saying earlier, that, you know, I see these cuts, and it looks like that's where you're going to have to cut it off. And then again, same thing. If you take your strip of wood here, I'm just going to grab one for example, right? And the top of your plank is going to follow that, right? So right across there, kind of thing. And I'll, should have grabbed a shorter one. But anyways, so yeah, we're going to follow that all the way along, kind of like so. Of course, you're going to steam and bend these, but, you know, and you're going to follow it all the way to the front and back, kind of thing. And that's going to tell you where your board needs to be. Now, just by looking at this, though, from where it wants you to put these. If you were to follow these lines, you're going to have some above, some below. So again, that kind of came into play where these all should have sat down tight against this. You know, like they should have all went tight to the bottom, which was leaving gaps in some spots, right? And yeah, so since I pushed some of them down, some of them are closer this side than they are this side, right? So it's kind of going like this. So we're going to have to kind of make it as straight as we can. We eyeball it, like this one's a little high, this one's a little low kind of thing. So eyeball it, try to get everything as straight as you can. And those cuts are probably right where you're going to cut it anyways. So you're going to do some filing and stuff after. I didn't bother to stain mine yet. I will do that afterwards. Yeah, because it'll probably end up being painted. Just because I want to do kind of more of a darker, the whole thing darker with some red tones, just like the ship is, right? So anyways, we're going to get to work on this once I figure out what it wants for planking boards. And to figure that out, you're going to go to your instructions. I printed mine out, but they're on the PDF, and I believe they're also on the actual big sheets of instructions, right? So we're going to find out here, and I've read through this because we're in the T section. T to X, it doesn't say anything about the lifeboat whatsoever. Okay, just so you know, you're pretty much guessing on all this. So we're going to find the T's right in here, elemental P, Q, R, S, and T. We need T17, which is the planking. We need a 1x3 by 140s. So we're going to go over to our materials, and we're going to find the 1x3, right? Let's see, this here is probably the 1x3. And to double check with that, we're going to find, wherever I did put it, right here. You can always double check with a set of calipers. I mean, I suppose you could do it with micrometers as well. So we're on a 0, right? Not power dummy, 0. Thank you. So we're looking for 1 mil, which is pretty much bang on there, and we're going to need 3 mil. So we got 2.8, 2.9. So yeah, this is the 3 mil. So we're going to need a bunch of that. All right. So I'm going to find all that stuff. I'm going to start getting things planked here. I should have some more 1.3 here somewhere. Now, again, with these kits, make sure you double check everything, because there are some that are slightly different, but very similar. Like these two look very similar, but I think that one's smaller. See, that one looks, this one looks pretty close to the same as well, but this is actually a 2, and this is a 1. So it is a little thicker, but if you're not paying attention, ask Boiler Dan what happens. You know, and if you haven't seen his video, he's building the same ship. Go check out what he's doing, you know. But yeah, he wasn't paying attention, and he kind of screwed up on the deck, but he made it work. And the ship is looking awesome, way better than mine. So again, go check out his. And yeah, while you're at it, you know, check out some of the other stuff here when you're done with this video of mine. Go check out OcCre. Thank you very much for being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, make sure you hit that bell notification, and make sure that you have all notifications turned on so you don't miss out on anything. So 140 it says, right? 140. I need a ruler. Yeah, this one's long enough. Okay, so 140. So we're going to go from right there. We're going to cut that off at 140. Now I'm going to do 1 because they seem to tell you to cut 1 measurement, and it seems to be way too long. Or in some cases it's not long enough. Let's see this one here. So once we file this down, yeah, 140 is like really long, so you're wasting a lot of stuff, right? So I'll probably modify that length. So to do this, you can do a couple different methods for sanding. Let's see here. I go to the dollar store a lot, and I pick up a bunch of these nail files and stuff, right? You can get them in a lot of different grits. Where are my sanding blocks? Right here. Now, you can always make your own. That's just a simple piece of wood, right? Stapled on with some, I think 180 is on that. I got some 100 here, free paper. So yeah, now there is also flat files and stuff. I do suggest the diamond file more than the crosscut files. They just seem to work a little better. So we're going to ferrule this out. I'm assuming now. Yeah, the boards. I'm just looking at my PDF here. And the pictures are going to be your biggest help. Yeah, they are leaving a little bit of the front, right? A little bit of the bow, the stern post, or not stern post, but oh, I can't think of it. But anyways, yeah. So we're gonna file all this down, right? And we're gonna bring. There's two little filler pieces that for support here, and I kept them below the line, right? Because you're gonna end up cutting them off, and of course they stick way up over here above the ribs, so that of course it's going to have to be brought down to that as far as the rib, but at the same time it's going to be faired out to the point that everything is just working nicely. So I'm going to get to work on this, and when I've got this all faired out, I'll come back and we'll start doing the planking. Okay, everybody, well, lost a little bit of footage, but I got everything all faired out, right? And I got this all planked up. Now I got a little bit of fine finishing left to do, some little sanding and stuff, and I've got one more strip that I'm going to put on, but I want to put it on afterwards because I am supposed to, if I zoom in here for you, right? Yeah, you see how like the top here, right, where it's flat right here, okay, that's where you got to cut it off, right? And if you can see, like, that's where it should be cut off, right? And I need one more plank. Now the front is a little bit thinner, a little bit less than a full plank, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off high, and then because this one here should be cut off just at the top right here, like where it's, I don't know if you can see that, but right along there is where it should be cut, right? Okay, so you can see like right here it needs to be cut right there, right? And then taper your cut all the way back to this point back here. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off a little high. All right, then once this top piece is off, I'll glue this one on. All right, and I'll just leave it a full piece all the way around, and then what I'll do is I'll sand it down to where it needs to be and just do a nice gradual taper all the way across to where this one needs to be, right? So now I've already pre-cut some of this so that it doesn't take too long. I think the only thing I got left is the bow and the stern. So we're just going to use a nice little razor saw here. Take your time with it. Cut through them all, right? Which I've already done, right? Except for these last two at the back here. So we're just going to follow my cut here, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm just going to leave it a little high. So this way you got a little bit to work with, right? And this wood cuts pretty easily, so you don't need a lot of pressure. Just I must have one that's not, oh, right, that one back there. Okay. There's one just on the inside here, so I'll have to cut through that one, I guess. And my saw might not be deep enough to get it. Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay. See how there's a little stern post back here. Now I've got a little bit of cleanup to do on the inside. Some overflow super glue here. So we're done with that piece. And like I said, so now that you've got all these little stubs sticking up, right? So we're just going to shape this and glue this all the way around. Cut it and leave it a little extra long. Once that's fully dried, well, then what we can do is sand it down flush here to flush here. If you got yourself a big belt sander, you know, that would work good, but you know, you can always do the same thing with a block similar to this and just keep working at it until you get it. At that point then we can start doing the rest of the stuff. So that I'm going to leave for another video. So probably just going to leave this here like this for now. You know what I'm going to do, so I'll have this done for the next video and have it ready to start doing the rest. I am going to paint this probably brown. I don't know if I'll stain it. I'll try staining it first, but I think with the super glue, I know some of it came through, and usually with the CA glue and stuff like that, it won't take the stain. So if I end up with blotchiness, I'll end up painting it. Same thing with the interior. I'm going to go with a really dark brown framework, and then a tan or something on the insides, or maybe a medium brown, because there is seats that have to go across here, the top rail, you know, things like that. So I'll see how it goes. But yeah, so in the next video we'll get the rest of this interior done, the top rail, probably the oars, the seats. And then I noticed that there is one step that you have to do that they don't show anywhere in the instructions, right? So may have been just looked past, you know, they may have forgotten it. So if OcCre's watching, go check this out. There's some stuff here that I'll show in the next video that are not in the instructions. There's no measurements, no wood sizes, no nothing for it. I will double check though the written instructions, but I don't think there's anything in it. But yeah, so we'll have to figure that out. So again, thanks to OcCre for sending me this. It's an awesome model to build. Easy to customize if you want to change it up in any way. Now, if there's something you want to look into, go check out OcCre. Their link is down in the description. You know, and they have all kinds of ships, tools, materials, things like that. Great company to work with. I haven't had any major issues with this this ship. I've changed a few things and a couple little concerns with the instructions, but again, if you're a model builder, a wood ship builder, I mean, you should have no problems with this kit at all. So I'm going to leave you there with that, and yeah, no matter what you're building, just have fun with it, take your time with it, make it your own, and yeah, until next time, later.